Hey there, I'm Thomas, co-founder of DMA, and today I'd quickly love to walk you through how we build lead lists that are actually right for your business and how this results in being able to book high quality meetings with people that can actually afford your service and are looking for your service. So where most people go wrong is they build a very basic ICP and they don't define their ICP. So I'd love to quickly go very granular on how you should build your ICP and why it's important that you do this very thoroughly the first time, so you only have to do it once and you can keep coming back to it. Firstly, you need to know the background. This is the basic ICP everyone builds. It's still important, but you need to go deeper. So the basics would be things like job titles, key responsibilities of the roles you're trying to contact, the industry you're trying to contact, the department underneath the industry you're trying to contact, and the people that would actually be able to pull the trigger on buying your service or going ahead with your service. Make sure you fill these out as accurately as you can. Fill in several job titles and several responsibilities so you're not too narrow looking for one specific person. So once you've done this, you can go a little bit more specific and you can move on to demographics of your audience. This would be everything from age, gender, location, the education type, the level of income they would be at. You do this because that way you're able to speak to them at the level that they're looking to speak with their peers, with people they're looking to do business with. And it's a great way to get a first overview of what your initial outreach and approach should be like, what platforms it should be like, how you should speak to them. After this, you need to go even deeper on the people you're contacting and you need to look at their psychographics. This is everything from goals and aspirations that people in the roles you're going to be contacting would have, the values that they have and that they obtained to get to the role where they're at now, the values they have to move forward to the next role, and maybe the hobby and interests. That way you have commonalities to speak to them when outreaching to them. Lastly, I want you to think of 3 pain points and 3 common challenges that the people you're trying to contact would face and that your service can resolve. This way, you'll have things to talk to them about. You'll have a way to present your solution as the answer to their problems or the challenges. When thinking about challenges, think about solutions they might have tried in the past that haven't worked and that your solution can overcome. This is a great way to strike up a conversation and a great way to get in front of the right people and start the conversations with potential clients. So once you fill all of this in, you'll have a very good view of what your ideal lead list would look like, how to approach them, and where you could best approach them. This is also very important because some trades are never going to open their emails but are always going to be available for a call. So you need to be able to establish this. Once you do this, we can move on to figuring out how to get the lead lists depending on what your ICP looks like. And this will be different for everyone, but I'll go over a quick list of options depending on the outreach. So getting the lead lists, firstly, where to find them. So your ICP will clearly point you in a direction, which will be cold calling, cold email, personal outreach, or like private messaging. There's only 2 of those you can really do at scale, and that's cold emailing and cold calling. The personal outreach, which would be through LinkedIn or through messengers, this would be at a much smaller scale, but it might be the best route for you. So let's quickly go over where you can find them. So cold email, this is what we specialize in, and we have significant expertise in finding lists that perfectly match your ICP, making sure every email you send is effective. So for cold email, what I recommend is using a service like Apollo, where you can see lists of people that fit your criteria. So you put in everything from the job titles they have, the companies they work at, or even the locations you want them to be in, the size of the company. You can even use things such as technologies they're currently using in their business to be able to pinpoint the customers you want, because the services they might be using, your service could be a big upgrade if they switch over. Apollo and Instantly work the same. They have the same kind of refinement filters, but they do have different databases and data sets. So if you can't find your ICP on one of them, definitely have a look at the other and see which one is most appropriate for your ICP. If you can't find them on either of these, you'll probably directly want to go to LinkedIn and use a scraping tool like Ava Boot, which allows you to gather big lists from LinkedIn, and from there be able to contact them straight away to the email address that they have linked to their LinkedIn. So that is it for cold email. Use one of these free services and you should be able to build great lists. But that's not the end of it. You also want to make sure you verify every list. That way you keep the health of your infrastructure intact and you make sure you are always landing in inboxes rather than in spam folders. Now, when it comes to cold calling, there's two things I recommend. Either use a service like ListKit, which they have triple verified phone numbers, and this is, of what we've seen, the best in the industry. You'll be able to very frequently rely on good answer rates and be sure you're talking to the right people, or use Instantly. However, not all of their leads have phone numbers, but the phone numbers do seem to be very high quality and do seem to get us in the door with a high enough percentage of people that are actually linked to the right account. So if you want to do personal outreach, I recommend either using Google scrapers in certain areas, scraping for tradesmen, or hiring a VA who then builds lists for you and then you verify these. No matter what you do, you have to make sure you verify every lead you're going to contact, making sure that one, they're still working at the company, their email address is accurate, their phone number is accurate, so you're not sending emails to spam traps or anything of the like. For this, we use Million Verifier. This is the most reliable and trustworthy source for emails. Make sure you run your emails through this. It's like $20 for 10k leads to be verified. I would do this as an extra step, even if a service says they're verifying the leads like Instantly. We always make sure to give it that extra clean to make sure we're actually maximizing. Once you've done this, you've established your leads and you can start reaching out to them. I'm not going to expand on this too much as this would cover our entire service, but it's firstly setting up the infrastructure to reach out to them at scale, and secondly, writing scripts that directly speak to your ICP. This way you'll be sure you're writing effective messages for your target audience. It's very easy to overlook this and not personalize enough and then not see the results you're looking for. If this is something that you need help with, or you're curious about fulfillment of the entire service from building your ICP to contacting them and booking them into your calendar, that is something we can provide. And I'll have to see if we could help you out on a quick discovery call and see if we can get those calls booked in with your dream customers consistently. I hope you find this video useful and I look forward to speaking to you.